Hey everybody, this is Dan for GemmyD on Cars. Welcome back to the channel. Now we got a pretty cool special car today. This is an AMG. This is a 2021 Mercedes-Benz GLC 63 Coupe. This is the sexier version of the GLC. Now I just drove a GLC 300 back in December. That was a great car, but that car had a 2-liter 4-cylinder. This car is double that. This car has a 4-liter bi-turbo V8, 469 horsepower, 479 foot-pounds of torque. This will go 0 to 60 in under 4 seconds. This car is pretty excessive in every way, in styling, in price, in performance, in sound. I mean, this is a pretty special SUV. So we're gonna go over all the specs, we're gonna go over everything, then we're gonna get it out on the road. Now, I haven't driven an AMG for a couple years. You know, several years ago, I drove a, what was that, a CLA 45 AMG. That had a 2-liter turbo, but I've never driven the 4-liter twin turbo V8. So we're gonna change that today. So let's take a look at the GLC 63 Coupe. Now the owner of this car, he actually got this for his wife, but he has had before a BMW X3M, and he was considering, his son was turning 16, but they didn't get a car for him yet, but they was considering like an Audi RS5 or a new BMW M3 in the Isle of Man green, which is beautiful. But he just sort of went the AMG way because he wanted something a little bit different. I mean, I don't know too many people that have AMGs. You know, you see lots of BMW M's and Audis, you know. There isn't even an RS Q5 that will compete with this car. So he just wanted to do something a little bit different, but I just think it looks so sick, all blacked out. This looks like a sports SUV, like in a Tuxedo. I really think this is the best looking of the group. Now, this would compete with cars like the X4M and X4M competition. Now, by the way, there is an S version of this, which this is not, that has a little bit more power. That's up to 503, but you're not doing too bad with 479, you know, still all the style and sound and everything. So, you know, Audi does not have an RS Q5 to compete with this. So really the only thing that this would directly compete with is the X4M competition and the Alfa Romeo Stelvio Quadrifoglio, which I drove, and that was amazing. That car was all blacked out too. But I just think this car is very special, and it's probably the best looking of the group. So, all right, let's talk about all the styling. Now, when we talk about the styling of this car, the main difference from the GLC, the normal GLC, compared to the Coupe version is right here. You only lose about 8 cubic feet of space in the back, and there's still decent space, but it has quite a nice side profile. Now, we've got beautiful Michelin Pilot Sport Cup tires, big 21 inches all around, and they are some wide tires. He said that this car almost feels better at speed than the X3M, which was very similar, you know, still the same, about 474 horsepower, you know, almost exactly to this car. But this car, all blacked out, just looks so good. And AMG, I think, really does the exhaust the best. So here's what it sounds like. Now, the GLC 63 non-S was updated for 2020. That comes with the redesigned taillights right there. They sort of look like little squares as opposed to the lines. You've got to get that silver trim blacked out up top there, just like my buddy Josh. But anyway, AMG just does the best looking exhaust. I mean, that thing is just mean. And when you see the 4, you know, trapezoidal rectangular pipes, you know that they mean business. They also got sort of little diffuser back here that just looks good, just fits into the overall styling of the car. Now this sort of ducktail spoiler looks really good too. That would look good in carbon fiber too, just sticking out. You can see that beautiful black pearl paint. Yeah, we got to get all this. We got to get all this blacked out. Now these side sills are like, they sort of, you got to really get used to putting your foot over top of that, because I feel like the heel of your foot would hit it a lot. So there's the business end right there, V8 bi-turbo. Yeah, this car has a 9-speed automatic transmission, 4MATIC. It was their version, Mercedes version of all-wheel drive. But now coming around to the front, this is where it looks equally as mean and sinister. Now we've got what they call the Panamericana grills. Those are standard, I think, on pretty much all, you know, full AMG models. You've got the LEDs in the front, bi-xenon headlights. Nice aggressive look in the front. It's not too overdone. I mean, Mercedes, I think cars are not crazy styled, but I like the sort of little silver trim that goes across the whole front right there. I think it looks really good. Just, yeah, this car just has a presence to it, and it just screams performance and style. And really, that's what Mercedes is for. You know, it looks, I think, like my buddy Josh, you got to get these all blacked out. I just think they look really good. So, all right, let's take a look at the engine. Now here is the heart of the beast. Now, like all AMGs, this says this was handcrafted by Lars Spiedel. So wherever you are, Lars, in Germany, we tip our hats to you for building this engine. Now, like I said before, this is a 4-liter twin-turbo V8, 469 horsepower, 479 foot-pounds of torque. It'll definitely go 0 to 60 in under 4. And I think the S version of this car that has 503 horsepower, that car is just about as fast as an AMG GT. I mean, 3.3 seconds. That is absolutely stupid for like an SUV of this size, you know, to be going that fast. So, but yeah, here you can see the hot V setup. There's your turbos right there. I mean, it just looks great. I mean, you cannot go wrong with the twin turbo V8. That is the business end right there. Yeah, it looks really good. Yeah, this is a monster, a very big engine, I'll say, to be in a car of this size. So thank you, Mr. Spiedel, wherever you are. We will tip our hats to you. Hopefully you're in Falterbach, Germany. So that's the engine. All right, let's take a look at the inside. Going on the inside of the GLC 63 Coupe. Now, you continue with the black trend here, but I don't know if it's AMG specific, but this yellow stitching goes everywhere around the dash, up on the top of the gauge cluster there, on the doors. It just looks so good. You've got the Burmeister audio right here. It sounds amazing. Always typical Mercedes has the seat controls on the door. You got a nice little silver trim over there. But yeah, this just looks mean. Now this is the typical AMG steering wheel, which I think AMG does just about the best looking steering wheels in the game. This just is small, flat bottom, thick rimmed. Now you can go through a bunch of different stuff that we'll go over in a minute. But yeah, for 2020, these were updated to get the full digital screens on them in front of you and that screen. I think they're 12.3 inches and this one is 10.3 inches. But yeah, this is typical Mercedes, you know, luxury. You've still got the same, you know, buttons up here to control everything. But yeah, you've got the ambient lighting. Down here, you also have, there's the loud button right there. That sounds really good. There's how you change your driving modes. There's how to get into manual to use the paddle shifters right here. These paddle shifters feel very, very solid, very substantial. Yeah, so we have a 9-speed dual clutch automatic. I love on the dash right there, it says V8 bi-turbo. It just went away. But yeah, that's how you know this car means business. But yeah, Mercedes have sort of had this sort of design language up here with the 3 vents up here in the screen for a while. I'll be kind of interested to see how the next C-Class, which will then trickle up to this, the GLC SUV, how their next design language will go with the S-Class having the huge waterfall screen up here and the really aggressive looking steering wheels. But yeah, from up here, the quality remains. You've got AMG placards on your seats right here, and the yellow stitching continues. I mean, the yellow stitching is everywhere, and it just looks really good. I think red stitching would also look good too. So let's start this bad boy up so we can hear and go through a couple things. There's a button right there. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Welcome, Chino. All right, so just to hear how the exhaust sounds, if you go and change this into dynamic, and we're gonna go into sport, and then we put the loud button on right here. Oh yeah, right away. Let's just listen to that. Oh, it sounds so good. Oh my goodness. So yeah, now a couple different things you can do on the steering wheel, and I'm going to turn the car off just so you can hear me. Actually no, we'll put the accessories on, close the door just so we don't hear the highway. So with the update in 2020, you can do a bunch of different things from the wheel, the left side and the right side, right where these little triangle or squares are. So you can go between here in the middle, up and down. And you can see on the screen there's a bunch of different things. The little circle goes up and down. But on the right side, you can control this screen over here. So I'm going to go over, go to home. Now I think this is, you can use your fingers down here to go through a couple different things on the screen. But yeah, this is very user-friendly. I mean, you have the, okay, we got to see the AMG performance. So this will tell you your G meter, your acceleration of how you, let's say you have 90% on the acceleration. When you go into brakes hard, here, let's go up into engine. Yeah, there's where it'll tell you your performance and your torque, all your oil temperature, consumption, nobody cares, dynamic select. Yeah, that's where you do it in individual stuff, and I'm not gonna mess with it, but just I'll keep it on vehicle. Once we get going, I think it'd be cool to see that in action, like the G meter right there. But yeah, this is equally as good as Audi's virtual cockpit system, and I think it's pretty good. As good as BMW system as well. Now BMW X3s and have the all digital screens. They have the M buttons that are on the steering wheel. This doesn't have it, but you can definitely customize the things you want right here. Now, like I said, this does have the ambient lighting, and we're not going to be able to see it in the daytime right here. But overall, the quality and the stitching and the silver and the AMG on the steering wheel, this steering wheel is absolutely gorgeous. It fits in your hand really nicely. It's a smaller diameter wheel, I think. But yeah, the quality is there, obviously, because this is a Mercedes. So I think we need to go look in the back seat now. So going into the back seat of the GLC Coupe. Now I'm interested to see how this feels, because I am 6 feet tall and I have a decent amount of space. The roof does slope a little bit back, but that's okay. I mean, sitting here in the normal position, I got enough space right here. We've got the same stitching back here. We have a couple air vents, no digital controls, which is okay. I think this is, my Audi has controls back here, but this car does not, which is fine. But yeah, you got the same stitching, the same silver, the same beautiful leather. And like I said, you only lose 8 cubic feet of space in the back seat or in the trunk because the roof is more sloped downwards. So I think, you know, this car, the guy that owns this car has 2 kids. Probably not that much in the car together, so I think this is definitely sufficient. And this car just looks so much better as the coupe version than the regular SUV, and the normal GLC non-coupe version looks very good too. So let's go check out the trunk. Now we're gonna open the trunk of the GLC coupe. I think if you just hold that in, that opens up. So yeah, still, this is decent. I mean, you lose a little bit up here, but if you're putting stuff down the bottom, this will fit your normal groceries just fine. I think it's more than adequate. I'll flash on the screen how this compares to a BMW X4M. I'm sure they're fairly similar. So yeah, that's not bad. Yeah, you could really tell the sort of sloping roof right there, but it just looks so good. And look at how high up that spoiler is sticking up in the air. So yeah, you don't buy this car for the back seat space. You buy it for the exhaust and the performance and the Mercedes, you know, prestigious automaker from Germany. So that is the trunk. Hit that button right there. All right, let's wrap this bad boy up. All right, so this is gonna wrap up just my quick walk around of this. This is a 2021 Mercedes-Benz GLC 63 Coupe. This car has a lot going for it, obviously. It looks great, it sounds great, the performance is there. You've got the prestige and the luxury of Mercedes. By the way, for eagle-eyed viewers who see the black and yellow fits along with the trim on the inside, that was not not on purpose. Anyway, Wakanda forever too, by the way. So this car, I'm trying to compare it with other cars. I did a review of an X3M. I think this car just looks a little bit better, and especially in this trim, all blacked out. Plus it sounds better than the others. I think this car, you know, it's a little sleeker looking. You can't really compare it directly to the Stelvio Quadrifoglio. Definitely in performance, but that car is, you know, they probably are pretty similarly sized. But the X3M and X4M, I mean, they don't look like this car. This car almost looks like a a track star in like a tuxedo. I think that's what this car looks like, all blacked out with the silver trim. So big thanks to Dave and Christy for letting me drive this car. This is actually his wife's car. This is not even Dave's car. You know, he got this for his wife, so what a guy. So leave me a comment below, let me know what you think, and now we're gonna get this thing on the road and see what it's like to drive the proper AMG way. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram, where you can see the cars that I review before they get posted to YouTube. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. See ya.